This video is called Rape Cult Bitches, Romantic Rejection as a Result of Rape Cult Social Norms and Those Who Fanatically Enforce Them. And females used to hurt, right? The word her and hurt. The hero, who is the naturally most competitive man, and I am the last, and the spectrum after that. So I want you to consider, having researched the rape cults and everything, and how it's designed to get a rise out of you, right? And the mythologies, the rape mythologies, right? The great figures of mythology, right? And so on and so forth. Okay? To understand the difference between my level of understanding and the average person's, and what is the resulting frustration. Right? The valid sources that I'm using, because they like to play people out saying that source isn't valid, and sometimes they're right. It's a stupid source and it is a stupid argument. Sometimes what they say is pretty much completely true. The source just isn't valid. So as I research these things, how people are manipulated using their unconscious mental processes, right? Their unconscious mind, their subconscious, and automatic behaviors. How the money that should have went to aid Africa was wasted by a criminal network playing both sides, and considering their perspective, for many, many years with thousands of sources in my videos, making videos for about 10 years. So let's consider how that is going to have an effect on me. But nonetheless, I understand what it's like for the average person to face this treachery. The average man. So number one, remember, this is about females used to hurt the hero, right? Psychological warfare. Number one, the Greco-Roman cult refinement of the super ultra seductive Venus goddess with her accompanying psychological warfare based pussy power. This is no small kind of, no basic image, right? These images have been designed to evoke a response, and quite often in my life, as I look back at it, I was more in love and in lust as a result of these images than women themselves. Okay, this was by design. These are like the perfect women in terms of erotic desire. Right? These are the ideal, lust-inspiring images, if you will. And that goes back to art and artisan, art having to do with illusion. This goes back to the cartoon, the face they used to put on the Egyptian people in their graves. They used to put on this mask that was called a cartoonage, I believe. Okay. And of course, core tune, the devil's tune. I'm pretty sure you see it my way, whether you play stupid or not. All right. So the Greco-Roman cult refinement of the super ultra seductive Venus goddess with her accompanying psychological warfare based pussy power. She was carefully designed for the psychological effect that she has. Some depictions in particular, bring out lust, right? There's more than one depiction of Wonder Woman. Some depictions in particular bring out some lust in this person, and in particular in that person, right? Different strokes for different folks, in other words. Number two, the spectrum of unworthy knaves, including females to some degree, even though in Western culture we have been desensitized to some degree of two attractive women having sex. But if you're a handsome hero that's shunned, anybody who is less than you, who women are valuing more, brings out the frustration. People are pretty much, women especially, are pretty much dressing and behaving in a way to inspire the lust of certain types of corporate figures, right? A bunch of corporations with their particular tastes having pressed upon groups of people to have the same taste, and then to have a social order, a picking or pecking order that allows them to extract the most desirable women who are trying to appeal to that taste. And quite often women in general, just because they're gold, most of them are gold diggers, right? Females in general. So the spectrum of unworthy knaves that get her while you don't. Everything from a rich, cocky ninny, a Scooby-Doo kind of liberal guy, to a whistle while you work type of bitch. It's a conformist. I don't care how hard working it is. Who's he working for? The more decent females who hurt you, mean you can't be like, she's a slut, right? More often than not, you're not going to say to yourself, this female who's like the Virgin Mary who has rejected me, even though she's rejected me for a stupid reason, you're just not my type. And she'll go date a devil-worshipping pussy, okay? More often than not, the expected response, and what happens, is that you're hurt and you're kind of moping around. Why didn't she like me? When I went to the psych ward as a youngster, it wasn't because of mental illness or because of the Klan or because of being bullied or something. It was because women had broken my heart. I was being romantically rejected as a result of rape cult social norms. I didn't quite chop it up to that at the time, but I knew that these social norms were coming as a result of people being sniveling, less than hero type of filth. I was being treated unfairly. As a teenager, I expected the adults to have a higher moral standard and more insight, and I expected women to be more understanding and more receptive to the good guy. I didn't get either from either group. Number 3, because of course women are supposed to defend their body from the bad guy, right? They should put a special emphasis on that. That should be their main concern growing up. When they're older, their main concern in life should be who they reproduce with, because females are reproductive vessels and they carry the baby for months. Okay? So defending their temple and only having the children of righteous men should be their highest concern, ultimately only having sex with good men. Okay? So 3, consider her new form after thousands of years of refinement since Sumer and before. The new form of the Venus kind of erotic desire inspiring. Look up who Venus is. Aphrodite, right? The goddess of love, which is really eros, sexual desire, right? Emotion-based, lower soul-based sexual desire. So consider her new form, thousands of years of refinement, after thousands of years of refinement since Sumer and before. Clothes, hairstyle, cleavage, heels, tight clothing, jogging, jiggling booties, bouncing tits, booty shorts. The strippers go out of their way to find what guys like the most in that regard and to wear it. It is established that that's what's going on. Some guys end up paying for pussy, and you are more likely to get an STD from a slut if good women reject you. If good women reject you because you're a bad guy, good. You're supposed to be an STD-having slime ball demon. When they put a special emphasis on some kind of suburban yuppie ninnies and some kind of rich scumbags, when Pluto, another name for Hades, the devil, means the rich. Okay? It's particularly repugnant. A person can be seen as poor son, the spirit of the sun, right, who accepts the martial art order, and a poor son. The person is poor, and he's the son of a righteous person. Incidentally, my dad gave away his money to charity and free service consistently throughout my life, so we were never rich. We were always the most generous of the upper middle class, and perhaps the most generous family of all, with everything considered. That's why I say my dad is the most righteous, because when we consider everything, moral value and everything considered, and continuity of righteousness, it becomes clear to me that he was the most righteous man of his generation. And I one-upped him with my superior technique for addressing societal ills. Anyway, number 4. Okay, so after we consider this, they're literally waging war on you. They're hurting you. You're down. You go to a hooker and like, man, just give me a blowjob or something, right? And then you get an STD. Now, because society is following rape cult social norms and women refuse to transcend and be receptive to the righteous man, now you have an STD. It's the expected response. Should they expect you to transcend to a ridiculous degree? Or should we expect women, the average attractive woman, to transcend to an understandable and expected degree? Expected when you consider what's at stake, right? She has to prioritize the good man, not fall in line with some corporate sex called bullshit when we all see the obvious marketing and propaganda taking place. Stupid not to say it that way. Number 4, and if family's insane, if they expect her to value them, right, while they're acting like cowards, okay, instead of the true spirit of righteousness. You're valuing a family that should prioritize the righteousness themselves and shouldn't even dream of holding against you, sacrificing them over the true spirit of righteousness, which means that you're now dating corporate filth instead of somebody who truly accepts the spirit of God and the resulting discipline, right? The field of study, right? Field is a martial art and warfare word, right? Battlefield. And the discipline, which is also a subtle it's alluding subtly to martial arts, right? What is the highest discipline? It is the martial arts. Do we teach discipline by going to the chess club? to the biology club, or do we teach discipline in martial arts? So when we're talking about discipline and fields of studies and mental prowess, certainly their own language testifies against them that martial arts is the highest discipline. And if you suck in inaction, go to the middle of nowhere and don't fight back type of dick, you don't have discipline, you have cowardice. Fuck doesn't understand that. That's why heroes means master. Okay? Not, the recluse. Not the recluse who doesn't emerge to face their enemy. Horus, face us. So who are they trying to hurt, right? The word hurt is another word, horror, meaning face us. They're trying to hurt the person who's trying to face the enemy, who is at the core of their rape cult culture and all the secret society, social clubs, fraternities, and all these bitches who roll with them, okay, are also the enemy. He's facing all these guys in their various corporate forms. What don't people get? So then we go on to number 4. There's a form of personal torture directed at the average person. Remember, this is directed at the hero, but everybody is suffering from this. So every man is suffering. Everyone in some form is suffering from this thing, one way or another, in one form or more, usually more than one way, basically. So the personal torture and the group plotting. We have a group of soldiers or revolutionaries, right? And they see how this is working. And there's a bunch of females acting like sluts, dressing like sluts, playing this Greco-Roman rape called, hurt the hero game. Now they have a chance to invade like World War II. They're going to rape millions of them. Why? Because they brought it out of them. They impressed upon them that these are bitches who shun the good man. If the good guy finishes last and it's a matter of which guy is evil and plays the game best, who gets the fine chick, why shouldn't you rape her? This is what they're thinking. Whether they should or not, this is the expected motherfucking expected response. My goodness. So personal torture and group plotting. Okay, the high rape rate. And of course, it's more than just women who are to blame. This is a cult alliance of rich sex cult bitch, college sex cult bitch, Greek Greco-Roman sex cult bitch, Gothic sex cult bitch, gang member sex cult bitch. It goes on. There's so many people involved, I don't know where to begin. Do you imagine somebody who used to hang out with gangsters being wrong about who his enemies are in terms of who's ganging up on him? Stupid. Of course I have this right. How the fuck could I be wrong? Not only did I used to hang out with gangsters and I saw this from the inside, I'm the son of 2 fucking doctors and the top martial artists. When I say there's rape cult bitches making it so that attractive women shun me, it's not because, this, that, and that, It's not because I think that if I say this, I'm going to get pussy. I should have kept my, if that was my concern, I could have kept my mouth shut and started being a serial rapist or something. It's because I'm fucking right. For fuck's sake. Shit piss me off more than you know. And I'm just in this drug-reduced kind of state. Anyway, number 5, drugged by them, right? On record and off. And how many times have I gone over this, right? The psych med kind of fucking thing, right? Oh, my psych med, medicine box. Anyway, number 5, it's by design. They're holding me down. Mental health has made countless articles about intimacy needs and relationships and the different ways people interact, right? Sociologists, evolutionary psychologists, social psychologists, on and on, right? In popular culture, you have the mental health slut, shrink or something, a Demi Moore type of chick, and so on. So moving on. Right, mental health knows this is key, and they're enforcing the social norms fanatically and drugging people on top of that. That's the main reason I go as far as saying mental health is so unreasonable, is because they're enforcing rape cult social norms to keep people like me from getting the attractive women, because this is a eugenic society, and eugenicists are the ones, and their predecessors are the ones who coined the term psychiatry and who designed mental health and who designed every perspective that is allowed to exist in mental health. So number 6. Then there is the you are too mental to explain while they play. While they're saying this, they're saying, you're just mentally ill. That's why you see it this way. There's cartoons with wolves howling, woo, when they see some Betty Boop type slut on stage. They have cartoons with wolves howling, showing that they know damn well that men are very much are expected to be thrown off balance and to fall victim of this thing. right? And you see the wolf symbolism in the light worker and so on, New Age groups, especially on Facebooks. Number 7, ugly women, gays, and catfish prey on heroes when they're down.